A South Pasadena father charged with killing his 5-year-old son will be extradited back to California. 35-year-old Ambrosio E Jr. made his first court appearance in Las Vegas today after he was arrested and charged with murder, even though his son is still missing.
Joining us now is Ambrosio Rodriguez. He is a criminal defense attorney and a former homicide district attorney who spent 13 years leading the sexual assault and child abuse unit in Riverside County. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Thanks for being here. The no body murder charge, which we heard yesterday, they had that press conference talking about this case. What are the circumstances that would typically lead prosecutors to this?
Well, no body murders are rare, but not uncommon. You know, I think one of the most famous ones was the Anthony case, which although they eventually found the remains, she was indicted and arrested before they found the remains. The Robert Durst case that's going on right now in Los Angeles, also no body murder. No body murder cases usually occur when there's a special relationship, a spouse or a child, where the person who's charged with a crime, the defendant, had a special relationship and was the last person with either that child or that spouse.
And in a case like this, is it all circumstantial, or is it a combination of circumstance and physical?
Right. It's going to be circumstantial evidence, right? And circumstantial evidence has a very bad reputation or connotation in the press. But really, the law treats circumstantial evidence, and the judge will tell the jury that circumstantial evidence is to be treated as at the same level as direct evidence. Circumstantial evidence is a fancy word for clues. And how else do you solve a crime or a murder mystery other than with clues?
Yeah. The complaint against Ambrosio included a suspected child abuse report. Is that something that happened prior when the boy was in the care of the father? Or?
Well, we don't know.
Okay.
And we don't know. And those types of, that information are almost always put in a complaint by the DA's office. That's just kind of standard or formulaic.
Okay.
So we just don't know that. I'm sure that in this case, part of it will be a lot of litigation involving what happened during the divorce, what kind of claims were made, were any of them proved or not. I mean, we really don't know who, and I mean, there's just a lot of heat on this case right now. And there's, you know, I feel like, and maybe just me being a defense attorney, but there is really a great rush to judgment. We really don't know what happened. We don't know what happened in the divorce between him and her, and we have a lot of speculation at this point. We have what we've been told is obviously an awful thing that has happened, but that's all we know right now.
What we also know, though, is that this father is displaying behavior that's uncharacteristic, and the investigators talked about this yesterday, of a grieving parent, or a parent who, in theory, should be very concerned and worried about his missing son. And today we saw him in court laughing and joking with the judge. I mean, setting aside the fact that that just seems unseemly.
Right.
Right. Is that something that can be used as part of the evidence at trial?
Yes, it can, because it goes to state of mind. I mean, that is, I think there's a really big public relations problem with this case right now, because the way he has been portrayed in the media as to what he's been doing or not doing has really put a lot of suspicion on him, and it makes people feel that, look, if this is happening, you should be walking the neighborhoods with flyers and posting them wherever you go. You know, it's very much kind of like, if you ever saw the movie Gone Girl, it's very much that type of scenario, but with a child as opposed to your spouse. So I think that's one of the things that, look, the emotional response of a suspect in a case like this is something that's going to clue the law enforcement, the detectives. So obviously we don't know what happened, but something is going on that led the detectives to charge him. I know they've already made a statement that there's a lot of evidence that we don't know that led him to this. I mean, this is a very serious thing. Prosecutors have to meet a standard that they believe that they can prove this case beyond a reasonable doubt. Whether they do or not remains to be seen.
Ambrosio, thank you so much.
Oh,
for more information about criminal defense attorney and former DA Ambrosio Rodriguez, check out his website, and you can also follow him on Twitter. Thanks for being here.
Thank you so much.